Okay.
Oh dear. Oh, untimely death.
Hello and welcome to this Wednesday's edition of Movie News here at MBE. My peripheral vision is not that good, John. I can't get it right when I look at the corner of my eye when I'm on cue, but I think I did okay.
Stephen, it doesn't help that I had the stream starting soon.
That's
Animation on underneath.
Yeah,
the
it does
intro.
not. But at the end of the day, we're here. It's Wednesday.
Well,
I'd just like to
interactive.
thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel. And of course, our Twitch stream. And as you said, John, we are live and interactive. When people want to talk to us, that is, we're interactive. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, we're going to crack on, John. As you can gather, there he is, John C. Walsh, the man that's here 5 days a week.
Yes, and I'm looking again over at the side, Steve, and I don't know what's going on here. I've got OCD. I'm telling you, I've got OCD. And when I'm slightly off centre, it drives me absolutely nuts.
Yeah, but listen,
Nothing
we've
I
started
can do
the show
about
before 11 o'clock. This has got to be a record for us for
it's usually
months
12
and months.
for me.
Normally we're slurring our words, but it's still early days. It's time for that.
But
But
I'm bright and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Oh, and by the way, I'm Stephen John McLaughlin. I didn't introduce myself. I'm the other co-host to here 3 days a week, the lazy bastard that I am. But I'm working in the background, folks. Trust me, I really am. Managing Kevin, etc.
Stephen, you're the lucky one. Believe me, you don't have to hunt for movie news on those 2 days that you're not on here.
I know it's terrible, John. I don't even bother sending you anything over because I think it's cheeky. I wouldn't want to
Stephen,
do this.
You can do that.
You know what I mean?
You can do that, no problem.
I could
whatsoever.
seek stuff out for you if you want,
I'll tell
but
you that
you
right
might.
now, it saved me a lot of pain.
Well, I think after tonight, John, after these topics, you might change your mind because I was struggling. ThunderCats we're talking about. I've not spoke about ThunderCats since 1985 when I was 9 years old, but it's ThunderCats Movie.
I don't know what they are.
It's Godzilla v Kong, director Adam Wingard. John, this is coming from Screen Rant. When I sent this over to you, I didn't actually think you were going to go with the headline with ThunderCats, but listen, a lot of people like ThunderCats. I know that.
Stephen.
Do you know who likes what ThunderCats that we know? Wee Claire.
Wee Claire,
She's always
yes.
going on about the ThunderCats. But she's roughly about my age, a little bit younger. So it's that sort of that time period, that Generation X, that sort of grew up on this kind of thing to an extent. 1985 to 1989. That's not that. Prefer Postman Pat to this, but we'll crack on anyway, John. Deadline has reported that Wingard has been hired to direct ThunderCats, a big-scale feature film based on the animated series that ran from 1985 to 89. The new film has previously been set to be produced by Dan Lin of Rideback and Roy Lee of Vertigo, both of whom worked on Wingard's straight-to Netflix movie, Death Note. The film also had an early script written by David Cogso. However, Wingard and his frequent writing partner, Simon Barrett, will now start the process over and rewrite a script. The film will be a combination.
I'm trying to find where you are.
That's okay, don't worry about it. I'm nearly done, John. The film will be a combination of CGI and animation. Now, John, we spoke before we came on. There's some great shots there, actually. And I know you want to obviously bring up casting rumours and stuff like that, but before we do that, John, I can talk about ThunderCats. It was an animated series that ran for 4 years. It felt longer for some reason. I don't know what it was, but it was very popular with the kids. You know, back in the day, I was 9 years old when it first came out. It was one of those ones before your dinner, your tea, wherever you're from, that you watched just because you only had 4 channels at the time.
Dinner.
You didn't really have a choice here in the UK, and it was that time when the kids' cartoons and stuff was on, and it was one of those ones that a lot of people liked. I kind of just watched it because there was nothing else to do, you know, and we'll talk about that, John. Wow. I'm going to let you in anyway, John, because I know that you want to talk about, obviously, the director. You want to talk about the style of this film as well, this combination of CGI and animation. So, does this excite you in any way, John? I know it's difficult because you didn't grow up with the ThunderCats animated series, but we're talking about casting rumours, we're talking about the way it's going to be shot, we're talking about the director. They seem to have a lot of the things going on that are right, the right ingredients for a good film, isn't it?
Stephen, I'm shocked and stunned at what I've just seen.
Yeah.
Is that a casting? Is that him putting his name in the hat? I'm absolutely stunned by that, if that's casting.
Steve, yeah.
Steve, I can't believe it.
One of the writers.
I cannot believe it. Steve is an absolute unit.
Yep.
And he's
I knew that.
I knew he was a
Jeez,
unit. Yeah, but he's putting perhaps his name in the hat for this character.
Listen, this is Steve Wilkins, is one of our writers.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Watches a lot of films, does a lot of reviews for us. And I knew the guy was a unit.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
mate.
he is,
As a
isn't he?
guy who's doing weight training, that's what I aspire to look like. So, Steve, if you're watching this, well done, mate. You're in absolute incredible shape. My mind is blown by that. But Stephen, in terms of the actual process of this movie potentially getting put together, well, it's not potential, it's going to be getting put together. I think it's a great choice in terms of director. You're going with Adam Wingard, is it?
Yeah.
The guy who's just put together a hugely successful Godzilla versus Kong movie. I went to you, Stephen, instead of me. I do apologise.
That's okay.
I was just showing you around the macros earlier on before the show came on, and I've just made a complete arse of them. So that's just sod's law, isn't it, really? But Stephen, he's getting Godzilla versus Kong out the way. It's got great
John,
critical response.
I'll tell you something, Adam Wingard looks like Kevin a bit.
He does look like Kevin,
My
yes.
brother,
We'll bring that up
fellow-
very briefly. He does.
Fellow movie bummer.
He certainly does. He's got that sort of... I
Hairline.
want to say, the hairline, and I want to say Django Unchained, Leonardo DiCaprio, goatee beard, which Kevin does sport, and he sports it with great aplomb. He does look like Kevin, and what Kevin told us many moons back, I want to say a decade ago, that he was concerned of losing his hair. He had long hair. The guy's still got Leonardo DiCaprio fucking hairline. Now, if you want to see what hair loss looks like, Kevin, you should get Kevin on, Stephen, to watch this show. This
John,
is what the hair loss looks like, Kevin. You are not lost your hair,
We are
mate.
trying to get him on this show, and we will get him on this show.
Man,
but listen, sorry for interrupting you.
No, not at all. Listen, man, we have to get Kevin on. He's a great film enthusiast. He's a great speaker. He's a better speaker
He's
than
a
the two of
fountain of
us.
knowledge, John. He's a fountain
He
of
is.
knowledge. He's
We
very
need-
much like your sister.
Yeah, exactly, with names and
You
stuff
know,
like
just
that.
a walking IMDb.
We must get the guy on, man. Once he gets over the sort of rust of being in front of a camera and speaking, he'll be absolutely superb. And it's just another voice added into the conversation. We need to get Kevin on at some point. It will happen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We'll force him.
Very soon, yeah.
We'll
We'll force him.
drag him with a bag over his head
With
and
his
fling him
hair.
in front of a camera. But Stephen, man, it is this director's coming hot off the heels of a hugely successful movie. It's doing very well at the box office during the pandemic. Nearly $200 million grossed in a week and a half. Critical response has been great. So he is hot property just now, and they've managed to bag this guy into this movie. Speaking about bags over heads, they've managed to somehow bring this guy into this project. There must be some good script floating around and somewhere in the what would you call it? The nether. For him to have put his name to this, because he could have a choice of many, many movies coming off of Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
The fact he's chosen ThunderCats, it means there must be a script there. And it's at Warner Brothers, Stephen. So, I mean, Warner Brothers will not direct crap. They will direct man beaters, husband beaters. I was trying to find the correct term there. Of course, they'll direct Amber Heard, but they'll get rid of Johnny Depp. But they won't direct crap movies in the main. They did direct the original Justice League, so they have got previous for directing some crap movies. What I'm getting at is this is a historic film studio. So if they're putting their name to it, they've managed to get this guy in. And this was a Warner Brothers movie, if I'm not mistaken. It was, wasn't it? It went to HBO Max and it went to theatres. So they've got that relationship. There must be something good there. That's what I'm getting at, Stephen. I'm getting off in a long, winding sort of diatribe, bullshit, rant, going nowhere. I don't know much about ThunderCats. It was kind of before my time. I was born in 89. I just scraped into the 1980s. I don't really regard myself as an 80s kid. I regard myself as a 90s kid, growing up and watching Postman Pat, Fireman Sam, Scooby-Doo, all of that shit, that kind of generational stuff and stuff from the 90s. I kind of miss ThunderCats. But Stephen, look, man, if they can make a Power Rangers movie, they can make a ThunderCats movie. It looks like a He-Man type of setup. It's an animated cartoon setup. There's scope there.
I hope it's better than Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Dolph Lundgren, yeah.
But Stephen, you've got a wide array of characters, colourful characters. We have got the CG to bring them to life now, and it could, if the script is there, the director's certainly there. I don't see any reason why this can't be a success. So it's good to see for that generation getting a new look at it.
This film would have been made round about the time of its popularity if we had the technology. Let's be honest with you, we didn't have it. They couldn't pull that off in live action.
No.
You know, the He-Man Masters of the Universe film from 87, I want to say, did its best. I'm not sure if maybe Henson was involved in a lot of the stuff that was going on in that film, but certainly it doesn't really hold up well for today's standards. But I think we're at that period now. The likes of the ThunderCats could easily transfer over to live action. Well, it's not live action. It's a sort of a mishmash of animation and live action, isn't it? So, listen, I'll give it a shot. If this is going to be coming out soon, I can't believe Steve's
in that article.
That's amazing.
He's putting his name in that, Steve.
Great.
You've got to reward him for his bravery and his ambitious sort of nature.
Yeah.
I hope he gets it.
So
there you go. Hope he gets it.
Yeah,
good on him.
Get us tickets for the premiere.
Exactly. Steve, can you please come on.
But anyway, John, we're going to move on to our next topic, and it's all about
generation.
Sylvester Stallone again. Sylvester Stallone, we're talking about for the second time this week. I am a fan of his, but this is all about. It's revealed that he's writing a pitch for a Rocky prequel television series, not a film. Sylvester Stallone has announced he's drafting a pitch for a Rocky prequel streaming series featuring the original characters in the 1960s. It's going to cost a bit of money doing that, is it not? Now, riding high off the franchise's continued success in the modern era of streaming, Sylvester Stallone announced on Instagram that he's currently writing a pitch for a Rocky prequel series. The show would be set in the cultural zeitgeist of the 1960s and consist of ideally 10 episodes for a few seasons to really get to the heart of the characters in their younger years. Stallone wrote, presumably those core characters would be Rocky, Mickey, Paulie and Adrian, as Apollo Creed doesn't meet Rocky until the first movie, and he's got that little notebook there. I'll tell you something, John, he's a tremendous writer. I like his writing.
It's very nice and tidy, yes.
Yeah,
it's very into
old-fashioned, but I'll tell you something. Well, I'll let you in first, John. Your thoughts on this? I tried to read most of it. I like the bit down at the bottom. It's like all the sort
moon
of
landing,
all the major
sexual
events,
revelation, the new left, hippie movement, the Cold War, the civil rights movement,
all the stuff that was happening.
Yes.
You know, the big things that were happening in the 1960s, John.
No mention of Woodstock, but I suppose that comes under the hippie movement because that was the sort of zenith of the hippie movement.
No mention
of
the Vietnam War from Sly Stallone.
No, they wouldn't mention Vietnam War in there, Stephen, because Sly famously dodged the Vietnam War. I don't blame him. I wouldn't have fought in that war. That was a disgrace. What was going on there, it was a sort of proxy war against Russia, wasn't it? China.
Origins of Rocky, though, John.
Yes, Stephen, it's not something I'm overly enamoured at the thought of. I don't think I need to see an Origins of Rocky. I think we got enough of Rocky's core story, what made the man tick, in the first Rocky movie and in the subsequent movies.
Yeah.
I've got no desire to go back and see the history of this character. I don't think it's necessary. I don't know why Hollywood and people within Hollywood are obsessed with going back and giving and filling in the blanks and giving us additional backstory for famous characters. We got it with Han Solo, we got it with Lando Calrissian in the same movie.
We're getting it with Obi-Wan, John. We'll have to talk about Obi-Wan because I don't know where you want to slot this into the show. If you want to do it,
fire it in after this, Stephen.
We'll do it right after this, right? Okay, then no problem. John, I totally agree exactly what you're saying here because I think it actually sounds like your Uncle Matthew there. I totally agree with what you're saying because Rocky and Adrian's story starts for me in the first movie. That shyness and awkwardness of both these characters, was what made that film tick along. Forget all the boxing and stuff like that. You know, it was that relationship between those two that really was the heart and soul of that original movie.
And it was them with his sort of trainer as well.
Yeah, getting to know each other, you know, and building the relationship. Now, if they do this, you can't have Rocky and Adrian interacting too much in the television series because they would know each other very well then by the time you know the events of Rocky happen. So, listen, I trust Sylvester Stallone's writing. I know he'll get it right if they are going to do it, John. Me as a fan of the Rocky series, I don't really need to see it. I don't really need all the blanks filled in, like you said as well.
Yeah.
But if they're going to make it,
Steve,
I don't know.
The original Rocky movie was a tremendous movie. Did he not net some sort of nomination or something for the script? I think he get multiple Academy Award nominations for that movie, so it was a great movie.
Yeah.
And that, again, it focused on the backstory of Rocky himself. And then the subsequent movies filled in the blanks. We don't need to get back and have prequel stories. I don't really want to see it. I want to see Sly moving away from Rocky. He seems to have an obsession with it.
Yeah.
He stepped away from the character after Creed 2. He says he was going to move aside. It was Adonis Creed's story. Michael B. Jordan's directing the next movie. Now he's coming in and pining away for the character again and trying to do prequels. I do agree with you, though. He's a good writer. He is a very good writer.
Yeah.
And if there's a script there and they can cast correct because it can't be Sly Stallone. Let's be honest, he can't do a
John, the
prequel.
casting's going to be very
It's going to be very hard to replace Sylvester Stallone. He's a one in a generation talent.
Mickey as well.
Yeah, it's
the late great Burgess Meredith, I think his name was.
Don't know how you do it. I can't even think of an actor, Steve, that could slide in and play Sylvester Stallone in a prequel and not have it been Jaden.
No,
They'd have to de-age him.
No, well,
it'd cost millions of dollars.
No, that would be awful. I used to think the Irishman was
Sly
very
Stallone
good.
doesn't even look like Sly Stallone now, Stephen.
John,
you can't even use Sly as the sort of template to de-age the character because he's changed that much.
Yeah.
He's like a fucking welly now, so he looks amazing. His shape's
physique,
incredible. He's in better shape than me, and he's about 50, 60 years older than me. So he's not 60 years older than me. He's not 90. He's about 40 years older than me.
Yeah, he's in his 70s, isn't he? So
60 years older.
Yeah, I totally agree, John. It's right. You know, casting's going to be very difficult. It's all right if you're doing maybe a minute or two's flashback. You know, they did that in that Danny Collins film that I watched, the Al Pacino film, where they had the young Danny Collins, and it was basically what they did was they just get someone that looked like a young Al Pacino. But for a couple of minutes, it's fine. You can kind of move on from it, and you don't dwell on it too much. But for a whole series,
it's difficult. Yeah,
it's very, very difficult, John. It's very much like this talk of the Luke Skywalker. I don't want to see a CG Mark
Steve,
Hamill.
what do you make about that development of
de-aged Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill coming out and saying that assumes that I have say on casting over at Disney and Lucasfilm, which I don't.
No.
So with Sebastian Stan coming out and saying, I would be interested in playing the character, but I require Mark Hamill's blessing.
Yeah,
Mark Hamill's come out and says, I don't really care. So is that something you'd want to see? Because I'm all set.
I think most people do want to see it, John, because I think they want to see more Luke Skywalker, and the only way round it is to get an experienced actor in that kind of resembles Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
And he is to a T.
He's double.
There's a bit of obviously cross wires, I think, because Sebastian Stan's not saying he's looking for I'm saying it as well, Mark Hamill to give the green light. He doesn't have a say in who they cast, but I think
he's wanting his blessings.
He wants his blessing because he's the only guy that's ever played Luke Skywalker live action. That is, I'm pretty sure there's been voice actors in video games and stuff like that.
I'd argue Mark Hamill didn't play Luke Skywalker in the holiday special because that was not Mark Hamill.
No,
that was some fucking makeup monster.
That was some orange guy.
Donald Trump's child.
It was probably Donald Trump.
Donald Trump Jr.
But no, I don't know, John. I'm not really. If they're going to do it with Sebastian Stan, I slurred my words there already. So it's not even 11:15 yet.
This is my first pictures director. I'm going to scare the hell out of you. You see my finger in the shot there, Steve? Am I giving the game away?
Yeah.
Absolute joke.
Yep.
Absolute joke.
Anyway, I'm going to John. Getting back to obviously Rocky and Sylvester Stallone. Listen, if it happens, it happens. I might.
If he dies, he dies.
If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. I don't really care.
Do you think a studio was going to greenlight this, or do you think this would be a streaming service set up? Because this, to me, has Netflix or Amazon.
Well, that's what it
Prime
says in the. I think that's what he's aiming at. A streaming service, John.
There's no way he's getting a movie.
Yeah, no. I don't think. I think it would work better. You know, I think he's probably seen a lot of these episodes. These television series that are fleshing out these characters. We got it with obviously Cobra Kai. For Netflix. Well, it was originally YouTube Red it was on.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's probably seen the sort of appeal to that sort of nostalgia and fleshing out characters and giving them more of a backstory. Cobra Kai is actually set after the events of, it's not a prequel, but it's still the same premise, isn't it? But we're going to move on, John, to our next topic, and it's all about.
Kind of done graphics. I put it in at 6. The man, it's not 6.
It's all about
4.
Obi-Wan Kenobi series cast revealed to start in April, John. Now, I don't have an article up for this or anything, so
I will try and work magic, Stephen. I'll try and get us both on the screen. I don't think I can, sadly, because we're using a new streaming service, a new streaming OBS. We do not have the dual.
John, the only ones I picked out from when I saw the...
I'll bring it up, Stephen. There you go. Bring it up. You'll be on the screen. I won't, but
I can read it from here. We've obviously got Ewan McGregor, surprise, surprise, and Hayden Christensen. I don't know, is that Mox? I can't read that. Moses Ingram. Joe Egerton.
Egerton's back again as Uncle Owen, yes.
Yeah,
and we
hate Uncle Owen, but I like Joe Egerton.
But Boney Pice is it back as Aunt Beru. She played her originally in the prequel trilogy.
Right, okay.
So we're getting the OG.
Well, that's better.
New Aunt
John,
Beru.
I'll tell you something. I thought Rupert Friend was Orlando Bloom for it.
Stephen, I did as well. First time I seen this, I thought that is Orlando Bloom's twisted evil stepbrother. It's not Orlando Bloom because his hair is a lot darker. But my God, if he dyed his hair light, that is Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom has dark hair, of course, but a lot of the time he dyes
John,
it
you're
blonde.
probably better reading these ones out because I've got a slight glare on the screen.
Well, we've got Bonnie Pice. I think it's Pice. Peace. She
Peace,
played,
yeah.
obviously, Aunt Beru in the Revenge of the Sith. We've got Camille Nanjiani. I didn't know he was involved. I love Camille. I was just watching a video with him.
Yeah.
I watch lots of bodybuilding sort of channels on YouTube. I think it's Coach Greg or something.
Right,
He
okay.
was destroying some jacked up black guy chef something on YouTube, and he actually used Camille Nanjiani as an example of an actor who shouldn't have a clue about fitness and how he's more knowledgeable than the actual fitness influencers on YouTube. So I was watching Camille. He's a great guy. He's got a new physique. He's working his arse off to maintain it. Not just that though, he's a funny guy. He was a stand-up comedian. He's a great actor. Cannot wait to see who he's playing in this. I spoke about Indra Varma a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
I suggested she could be a flashback for maybe Shmi, but I don't think she wants that. I think she'll be something different. Stephen, looking at it, she's the only actor in there that really fits in that Tatooine setting because it's kind of like a stand-in for Saudi Arabia or something like that, isn't it? Tunisia. That's where it was originally shot.
Tunisia, as they say
These
in
white
America, yeah.
actors shouldn't be anywhere near there. They have not got a fit. We know Obi-Wan is not from there.
That's why.
But these two geezers here.
That's why Obi-Wan aged terribly.
Yeah, exactly. These three shouldn't be there. They're white as hell. They're like Scottish people.
I don't
shouldn't
think
be there.
Hayden Christensen's going to go on Tatooine.
No, he won't be. No, I think it'll be flashback, Stephen. But Rupert Fiend, you mentioned him, the sort of twisted evil stepbrother of Orlando Bloom. He's in there.
and evil.
Twisted and evil. And we have O'Shea Jackson Jr. That's a tongue twister. Action Jackson. O'Shea Jackson Jr. Striking, not stunned. Don't know who he could be playing. And we've got Sung Kang. And we have Simone Quell at Kessel. And finally, Benny
Kessel Run.
Sadie, is that Safety? Stephen, what I'm taking from this, and this is the most important thing I'm taking from it, I don't really care about the names attached, aside from Hayden, Ewan, and Camille Nanjiani, and the two people playing Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Yeah.
Joe Edgerton's amazing, man. I've seen him in so many things. I think It Comes at Night. He was stupendous in that. I keep saying It Comes at Night. I don't know if it is. But he's a great actor. He spoke about his interest in coming back and portraying it. It's good to see they've got them involved. They have to be there.
Continuity in it.
Who's playing young Luke? We've not seen that yet. That doesn't appear to be anybody in this cast. He should be young as hell. But what I'm taking from it is it's a very small cast. It's, what is that, 12 people?
Yeah.
You look at The Mandalorian, you look at the likes of WandaVision, you look at the likes of Falcon and the Winter
WandaVision, I
Soldier.
didn't think had a large cast.
Well, I had it more than 12 though, Stephen.
Yeah.
I think, well, maybe main characters probably not, but we had lots and lots of bodies. We will have extras. But it's a very small cast, it's compact, and that bodes well for it being about the main man, Kenobi.
Yeah.
There's not going to be many side players in there. I just cannot wait to see who Camille Nanjiani's playing. I hope he's playing a Jedi, but he ain't going to be because it's only Kenobi.
Yeah.
I want to see Camille wielding a lightsaber, but it ain't going to happen. I think he's more likely to be some devious sort of goon of Jabba the Hutt. Maybe like a
could
Bib
be,
Fortuna sort of side character type thing.
Oh, they better not put him in prosthetics.
No, they can't do that.
Don't do
Steve.
that.
No, he's such
Not with that face.
he's got such an expression.
Exactly.
Expressionate, is that even? I don't know. Expressionable face. I don't know. I can't think of the word. It's a great cast though, Stephen. I'm looking forward to this. The fact they took time, they didn't just rush it out with the original scripts. They took a step back, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever it was, to hone it and get it right. There's been lots of criticism of Kathleen Kennedy, no lesser than from here. I've been destroying her anytime I get the chance to. But you've got to commend her. She's allowed this to be honed into something better. We can't have shit standard Star Wars TV shows coming out. Mandalorian set the way. We've had WandaVision and Falcon, trailblazing, high caliber, big budget sort of Hollywood style TV shows.
John,
This thing has to be perfect in the script department.
I think Lucasfilm and the fans have to realise that Star Wars is bigger than both, and they've got to realise that every series they put out can't cater for everyone. There will be series that I will not get near because I'm not interested. I'm not really that bothered about this New Republic thing or whatever, High Republic or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I'm not that interested.
Now, I think. I don't know, but we will dive into it.
But at the end
for
of the day, it might not be for me anyway. You know, that sort of period, that storyline. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me because I'm getting Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, and there'll be people out there that are not interested. You know, the ones that didn't grow up with the original trilogy, the prequels, that are only coming into Star Wars after seeing the sequel trilogy. So it doesn't really matter. It's just good to see there's a bit of everything for everyone now, and it seems to be going that way. And I think Kathleen Kennedy, as you said, John, is starting to realise that. You know, put the agendas to the side, and you know, just make good quality production. Star Wars television series. I'm the same as you, John. I don't really want to see films for the time being. I'm quite happy for television series. After the 2 seasons we got of The Mandalorian, the potential is huge. Absolutely massive.
Yep.
That was either going to work or it wasn't going to work. Star Wars live action had never used that format before. That first episode of The Mandalorian, and it worked a treat. And everyone who watched it loved it.
And Stephen, of course, Deborah Chow is the director. I'm looking at her just now. I'm looking at her back catalogue, not a back catalogue, her filmography. You look at the arrangement of TV shows she's worked on. Mr. Robot, I think that was the one with Rami Malek.
Yeah.
Great TV show.
Is
that the one
Iron
with
Fist as well? Yeah,
was it Mr. Robot?
That's
Rami Malek. There it is. Great TV show. I don't know why I was blanking on that name there. That's what happens on these shows. We got Iron Fist. It wasn't great, but it wasn't
only
horrendous.
one episode, yeah.
Fear the Walking Dead. But you look up, she's worked on the likes of Better Call Saul, American Gods, but she's just been
The Man
cancelled.
in the High Castle, yeah.
The Man in the High Castle, that sort of alternate reality World War II thing, and The Mandalorian. So she's directing all of the episodes in this Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. It's a great opportunity for her.
Yep.
I hope she does a great job. I don't actually, I'm looking at the episodes from The Mando and I'm trying to remember which one she was involved in. But there wasn't a bad episode in The Mandalorian. So it looks like they've got all the moving parts right, the cast, the crew. It's all been done meticulously.
6
They've worked
episodes,
on the
John.
script. 6 episodes is a bit short, Stephen, but it depends on how long it is. If it's an hour long, 6 hours of storytelling before we win.
You know, after 2005, I didn't think we were going to see Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi, so this is a bonus. I've just got to look at it that way, you know, and we're getting to see more of them. So
I've got a suspicion it'll be an hour long episode. At the very least, 50 minutes. So that's giving you 5-6 hours of storytelling with this character. Realistically, I don't think there's much more scope to do with that character in Tatooine. In between those sort of timelines, the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, you've got a limited scope for what you can do with the character, a limited scope with what you can do with Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker turning to Darth Vader.
What's that?
Steve, do you think we'll see Darth facing off against Obi-Wan in this TV show? Because for me, I think it'll be flashbacks. I think it'll be haunted by what he'd done to him. I think it will have left deep scars in his psyche and his physical being. He will be downtrodden in a dark place. And I hope to God he's got some sort of love interest.
Yeah,
helps take him out of it.
I don't think... that could have explained where Ray came from if they did it right. But John, I think I don't think we're going to see Hayden Christensen on screen too much, to be honest with you.
I don't think so either.
I don't think we are.
No.
I think it's going to obviously be focused heavily on Ewan McGregor's character.
I'll go one step further. I think he'll be in the first episode, in the very start of the episode, haunting them, and then that'll be him done. I think it'll be focused on Kenobi. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It's not the Darth Vader series or the Anakin Skywalker series. We've seen his arc over the course of 6 movies.
As well, John, it's just to give him a bit of presence, you know, because there is unfinished business between both those characters, and it would be weird if Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't thinking about Anakin at some point, because he was like a brother to him, as he said, you know, and
you were my brother, Anakin.
Yeah. And he did have the higher ground.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Yeah, John, I'll tell you something. We could be here all night.
You're no republic.
Terrible dialogue.
I love you, man. I love him. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
What a guy, man.
Listen, we'll just have to wait and see. I can't wait. I can't wait to see this. This is the one I've been looking forward to the most, John. Out with, obviously, the potential of a Luke Skywalker one. I just can't wait to see what they're going to do. I can't wait. Can't wait to see Ewan McGregor back as the Jedi Master. But, John...
Yes. A more civilised time.
Move on to our next topic, and it's all about Gorillaz. No, we're not talking about the monkey kind or whatever they're called, or music in that fact. We're actually talking about Gorillaz, the band. They're going to be making an animated Netflix production. And this is coming in from MovieWeb. It's Gorillaz animated movie is happening at Netflix. I'll just read a little bit, John. It's all about Damon Albarn, who's... obviously, he fronts Blur and Gorillaz. And Gorillaz recently released Song Machine Season 1 Strange Times. The album is set to be the first in a new series from the band. During a recent interview, Damon Albarn revealed that the plan is to make a Gorillaz animated movie while making Song Machine Season 2. Here's what he had to say about it. I'm not going to do his accent, but he's a Londoner. Well, we are supposed to be making a film, part live, while we're doing season 2 of Song Machine. We signed contracts, we've begun scripts and stuff. Making an animated film, that's kind of abstract, is quite a big risk for a movie studio because they're very expensive. If you're telling a slightly obtuse story that only sometimes makes any sense, it's quite difficult. That's what we've discovered. We will do it. We are doing it. I see a lot of people doing animated videos these days, but I don't think they really touch I don't think they really touch the quality of ours. Oh, so there you are.
High praise indeed.
That's confident words from Damon Albarn, John. But just getting back
animated video, Stephen, as well. So
2000, John, when Gorillaz first came out. I think it was 2000.
It was very. I was just starting secondary school, so it definitely was 2000. Yes,
John, I was a big fan of their first album. The funny thing was, and I don't know why, I didn't realise it was Damon Albarn right away. And I'm a big Blur fan. For some reason, I just didn't think he would think out the box that way and do something like that. And it was Clint Eastwood, I think, that came out. Loved it. But I loved all the singles that came out as well. But Kevin, my brother, he had the album, and we listened to that all the time.
I was obsessed with the Gorillaz at that time period. I've had, I think, most of their albums.
Yeah.
Damon Albarn's amazing, man. Just an absolute incredible artist.
Yep.
Writer, singer. He even plays chords in a different way to the standard practice. He uses his own little chord shapes. So he's a great, great dude. And what he done with Gorillaz, to go from a very unique band like Blur, who were very diverse. They weren't Oasis. I love Oasis as well, but Blur were the superior band. Come at me, bitches, if you've got something to say. They were better. They're like the Beatles to the Rolling Stones. More diverse. The Beatles were better than the Stones. The Stones were a joke, sort of copycat band.
See, I see Blur as more like the Kinks, and I see Oasis more like Status Quo.
So who's the Beatles, Stephen? Radiohead?
The Beatles are the Beatles.
R.E.M.? I don't know. But Stephen, man, what I'm saying is to have the balls to go from a very diverse and unique band like that to the Gorillaz, it took big balls and they done it, and they done it well. And as you said, you didn't even realise it was Albarn. And to take this concept of an animated band, and the way he balanced it in live shows, it was an absolutely amazing concept from a zany concept kind of artist. Yeah. To then take that one step further into a movie, I think it's a natural progression. I think we can see this working, because they're very colourful characters in the story. You mind the video, Stephen? They were quite dark and sinister. The big sort of...
I love the animation though, John.
Yeah, you can imagine a movie, an hour and a half long movie with those characters.
John, correct me if I'm wrong, but for a long time, Gorillaz didn't have... we didn't know the faces. Damon Albarn knew the face of, but the rest of the band were pretty much in the background, and we didn't get to see them, didn't we? No. It's only really when they started performing live we were
still
getting
don't really know who they are, Stephen.
No, and I think the actual characters' likeness has changed over the years as well. Very Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, it's evolved with time, and obviously the look of animation these days as well. They're looking a bit more creepy looking, I think. Yeah. I liked the original sort of concept of the way they were animated, but they have certainly changed. They're more lifelike, if you like, now.
Yeah. Stephen, I mean, I'm just looking at the image here, but that you see that animated style, and I think that'd be absolute dynamite.
Yeah.
In a movie. Yeah. And if it's Netflix,
I didn't realise, is it Murdoch, the guitarist? Yeah. I didn't realise he was green.
Yeah, he's green, yeah. He's kind of like a zombie, yeah. Yeah, he's always like that, yeah. He kind of puts me in mind of your man from Arctic Monkeys, lead singer. Yeah. Blanked on his name.
I think he was originally
from Yorkshire.
Styled on Keith Richards. I think,
yeah, he does. He looks like Keith Richards. I don't know why I'm doing a Yorkshire accent, Steve. I'm always in the pot here. But needless to say, that's not even Yorkshire accent. It's because my dog's from Sheffield and I just love speaking in Yorkshire accent. My dog, that's dog anywhere else. My dog's from Sheffield. So I spend an inordinate amount of time speaking in Yorkshire accent. So that aside, I got that out of my system. Yorkshire, do it for Yorkshire, Sean Bean. Love Sean Bean. Steve, I think this could work. I think it's a cool animated style with the characters. They've been doing their thing. They've been away for a while. I don't think we've had a Gorillaz album or song in a long while. I don't recall hearing one for about a decade or so.
Yeah.
Good time for them to rise back into prominence, have maybe an album, have a video, and then use that as a catapult to then do a movie. At Netflix, is it, Steve? Netflix, streaming service notorious for giving zany ideas and different voices a chance to make something happen.
Yeah,
And
John,
you can't get more zanier than Damon
There's
Albarn.
not been a lot of bands that have made that transition to a television show or film, hasn't there? Not. I mean, obviously the Beatles did their Beatles films and stuff like that.
And they were very
The
good.
Monkees did their television series in the 60s, and
And
I always
Elvis done it all.
remember. Yeah, he did a lot of films as well after he came out of the army. I always remember in the 1990s, Steven Spielberg, whether this was true or not, I'm not sure, wanted to produce a television show with the members of Supergrass and do a sort of Monkees style, which I was very excited about at the time. It sounds terrible now, but I'm very intrigued to see how this, the concept as well, how this will play out as well, and how much of an interest it will gather as well.
Well, Steve, they've got lots of anime over on Netflix, so it's got that kind of different artistic style. So I think it could. I think it's a perfect place for it.
And all the band members voice their own characters.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's not a Yellow Submarine thing where it's weird bastardised Scouse accents.
Eddie Yates playing Paul McCartney, but that's a
Blue
Coronation
Meanies are in the
Street.
vicinity of this
That's a
theatre.
Coronation Street reference there, Eddie Yates. But John,
Sing!
we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled for that one. It's coming to Netflix. We've got Netflix, so I'm guaranteed we'll see it. Might even review it. Who knows? But John, we're going to move on to our next topic, and it's all about Lokesh Khanna Garage. He tests positive for COVID-19, sadly. But John, both you and I have had it, and we know obviously the effects it has on us. Certainly, me sitting in this chair, not this chair, the old chair, leaving it so glow because I was absolutely burning up doing a show, not knowing I had it. But John, and you obviously,
I got it 5 days later, yes.
yeah, you 5 days.
Great time.
Yeah.
I've never had fever dreams. Never had fever dreams like I had with COVID-19. It was a truly once in a lifetime experience. One I don't want to ever fucking experience again. Let's just put it there. I was out walking my dog every day for a week. Didn't know I had it, but it wasn't fun, Stephen. We spoke about it many times. It wasn't fun.
No.
I don't wish it on my worst enemy. You've got lots of COVID deniers out there, little bitches on the internet saying it's all a big hoax. It doesn't exist. Well, what the fuck did I experience for 2 weeks if it doesn't exist? And on a side note, swearing aside, I truly hope Lokesh is okay. He's a young guy, man. I don't know exactly how old he is.
He's young and happening, according to this.
He's young and
this
yes,
article
he's a hipster.
coming in from the Times of India, and the young and happening director Lokesh Khanna Garage is the latest celebrity to have tested positive for the novel coronavirus, and
It's not so novel now, is it? It's been out for a year and a half.
and currently
It's not new.
admitted at a hospital. The young director, known for his films Managaram and Kaithe, and the most recent Master starring Telepathy VJ Led, took to his social networking pages to reveal that he has tested positive for COVID-19. The Master director, who is currently working on the pre-production of his upcoming film Vikram with Kamal Hassan in the lead, has announced the same through his social networking page. Director Lokesh Khanna Garage in his note said, "Hello everyone, writing this to inform all my friends, family and well-wishers that I have tested positive for COVID-19 and have been admitted in a private hospital where I am being taken good care of. Will be back soon and
He's
stronger."
in a hospital.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, I hope he's all right.
yeah, it's a private hospital, so he will be.
He's probably just making sure he's getting the best treatment.
That's it.
That's the best place to be.
Yep.
I hope he's okay. He's a young guy. I think he'll be fine, Stephen. Very few people who are young and vibrant and not get any underlying comorbidities. I don't think they're dying of it. You really have to be very, very unlucky to die of this thing. If you're youngish, if you're not over 75, I think you're pretty fine.
Yeah.
There's been people who died who are younger than that, but they've been very, very unlucky. I think he'll be absolutely fine. He'll not have a fun 10 days or so. It'll be lots of fever. Sweating like an absolute rapist on speed, as we like to say here. I thought it was in an Olympic swimming pool at 4 a.m. some nights, peeling my t-shirt off. But he'll be fine, he'll be back, and I'm sure he'll be directing a lot of great more movies in the coming years.
Well, John, we're looking forward to Vikram, and I don't know, is he doing Kaithe 2 as well?
I think it was certainly left in a sort of cliffhanger, wasn't it, at the end?
Yeah.
The
film is happening.
brother figure.
I'm not sure, is he directing it or not? I don't know.
I don't know.
I hope so.
I'd have to search it up.
But Vikram looks intriguing, doesn't it, John? We did the...
That was Kamal Hassan, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did
it
the
was
trailer
very
reaction
intriguing.
to that. Yeah.
Great teaser, Stephen. They were eating some amazing food. It was a tense standoff. And of course, it kind of erupts into violence briefly at the end. We don't get to see it.
No,
We're going
that's
to get
right,
to see that in the movie, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Kamal Hassan looks like a great actor. I can't say I've seen any of his movies yet, but I will be watching Vikram, and that'll be the starting point. Great actor, great director. Guy Fitu announced he is directing it, so
it's a busy man. Yeah, no one he's in a private
Steve,
hospital.
you look at the directors, man. He's directed 7 movies, and I mean, nearly every one of them is absolutely superb. So this is he is a young, vibrant director. How old is he, Stephen? Can I get information on how old this guy is? I think he's probably good. I think he's good. When was he born? Jesus Christ, I can't get information on this guy.
It's a secret, John.
It's a secret, big secret.
Yeah, it is a big secret.
He's young anyway.
I'm not sure, but
he'll be okay.
He's young and happening. But we're going to move on to our last topic, John, and it's all about
worst website in the world, Steve.
Madhavan's Rocketry. I think I'm saying that right. The Namby Effect trailer on April 1st. John, April 1st is only 24 minutes away here in the UK. So are we getting a trailer for this? But
well, I hope so, because I do like Madhavan.
Yeah.
He was absolutely superb in Vikram Vedha.
Yeah.
He really shared the screen magnificently with Vijay Sethupathi. Charismatic guy, cool as hell. Bit of a bodybuilder in his younger years as well. He was a bit of an Indian Arnold.
You can see he's a unit, John. But this is Times of India once again .com, and it's
Times of India are really letting the gang down with this website, Stephen.
Yeah,
it's impossible. You know what? I'm not even going to use it.
Yeah, it's okay, John. There's not a lot to say on this, so I'm just going to read this briefly. It's known that the actor Madhavan is making his debut as a director with Rocketry, the Namby Effect, in which he plays the lead role. The film, which is a biopic on Namby Narayanan, a former Indian scientist and aerospace engineer of Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, who was accused of espionage, is one of the most awaited films. The latest buzz is that the trailer of the film is all set to be launched on April 1st. A source close to the film says...
it's not an April Fool's joke.
No, I hope not. A source close to the film says, we are elated to be sharing the trailer of Rocketry, the Namby Effect on April 1st. The teaser of the film that is released in 2018, captured the attention of many. The film will see Madhavan as a completely new space and avatar, which is surely going to surprise the audience. John, I'll tell you something. We've watched quite a few Indian movies, over the last 7 or 8 months.
Yes.
Not seen anything like this from what this describes.
No, a sort of espionage movie with a space director. Sounds very interesting indeed. Sounds like high stakes movie. Maybe it's going to be a sort of, I don't know, what was that one with Benedict Cumberbatch? It was the Code. He played Turing.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Where they get back and it's the state trying to piece together what this guy's been getting up to. I don't know if it's going to be something similar to that, but by all accounts, very anticipated movie. It's a great... I mean, he's doing double duty, isn't he? He's directing and starring in it, Madhavan. So
yeah, he's a sort of...
it's always dangerous, Stephen, when a famous actor gets into the director's seat. You never know what you're going to get. Really, I watched Chris Evans, again, that interview with Scarlett Johansson. And one of the first things I was speaking about was Chris's first stint as a director and how it's very different to acting and how it takes you out your comfort zone. So, Madhavan, by all accounts, very respected in India, great actor. Very interesting to see how he transitions over.
Exactly. I'll tell you something, I'm very interested in this production because it does say here as well that Madhavan has already impressed everyone with his complete transformation into Namby Narayanan in terms of his looks in the film. Touted to be Madhavan's biggest film ever, Rocketry, the Namby Effect, will simultaneously be released in 3 languages, English, Tamil and Telugu. The team has extensively filmed across India, Princeton, Scotland.
It's filmed in Scotland.
France and Russia.
Fantastic.
Apart from Madhavan, who essays Namby's role, the film also has Simran and Ravi Raj Havendra in important roles. John, I'll tell you something.
It's filmed in Scotland. I hope it was the east coast of Scotland, because if it was the west...
or the Highlands.
Don't get me wrong, they do get rain in India. Let's be honest, they do, but not like the west of Scotland. Wettest country on the planet.
I'm intrigued to see how this is going to look. When you're going to places, the contrast between India and Scotland... Obviously, Russia and France can pass off as well with, obviously the terrain and the weather conditions is similar anyway to Scotland. But it'll be very interesting to see how aesthetics, how that will look,
Well, he'll probably be a bit of a globetrotter, this sort of space directing. What is he called, man? Space director. What is he, the guy? Space Research Organisation guy. He's an engineer, an aerospace engineer. He would have been a globetrotter, Stephen. He would have had to have went over the planet. People with expertise like that are very rare commodities. So maybe the very nature of this guy's story required them having to go to France, Russia, Scotland, Princeton, India. So it's nice to see our own country appearing in a movie. I'll be intrigued to watch it, the trailer, to see if we can pick out where Scotland is in the trailer, if it is in the trailer.
Yeah.
Because by God, I'll be able to pick Scotland out.
Yeah,
It's
we
a
always
very
do,
unique
don't we?
country.
Yeah.
So that's another interesting sort of level to this movie. I'm intrigued by it. I like Madhavan from Vikram Vedha. He's a very cool dude. I wish him all the best with his directing, his double duty. Hopefully it's a success. Hopefully the trailer's very cool and we can react to it and enjoy it and get hyped up to hell for this movie. But look, Stephen, I've not got much more to say about
I'm
it
done.
unless you have. Well, that's going to round up the show then. What is your thoughts on the 5-6 topics we touched upon on the show? What do you make about ThunderCats happening with the Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard? Is that something you're excited about? Did you grow up in that era? Do you think it is a TV show that's right for adaptation for a movie? What do you make about Sly Stallone doing a prequel about Rocky? If that's something you want to see. Kenobi getting a cast and a production start date in April this year. And finally, what do you make about the Gorillaz and getting an animated movie on Netflix? Lokesh Khanna, however you say it, getting a COVID-19 positive test. We wish him all the best. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think that he will come out the other side fine and dandy? We certainly do. We hope he does.
Yeah.
Because we know what it was like having it. Not many people on this planet, despite all the infections that have happened, know what it's like to have COVID. It is fucking hellish. So I wish him all the best. And finally, what do you make about the Madhavan movie potentially getting a trailer? If you're watching this after it's dropped, then we will look like tits. It will have happened. But what's your thoughts on it
I'm
anyway?
this tonight.
Yes. But if you get anything to say at all, you can comment down below in the comments section. As ever, you can also like the video, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, hit the follow button on Twitch if you want to see more content like this, and you will get it, guys. But until then, bye-bye.